This is Algebra 2, Chapter 3, Section 6, in which we will be multiplying matrices. We talked last time that there are two kinds of matrices, or a multiplication involving matrices. One was called scalar. The other one is just called matrix multiplication. Okay. This is where you're actually multiplying two matrices together. Now, in this form of multiplication, we need to follow a sequence of steps. Step 1 is to see if we can even do the problem. Okay, we have to look at the dimensions of the matrices. The inside dimensions have to match up, and I'll show you on the next page what that means. If the inside dimensions match, then we can do the problem, and the outside dimensions tell us how big the answer will be. If the inside dimensions don't match, we cannot do the problem. We say it's no solution or impossible or does not exist or something to that effect. Now, assuming we can actually do the problem, the verbiage here makes it a little tough to see what's going on, but when you see it in process, it's not that tough. You multiply everything in a row by the corresponding elements in the column in the next matrix, and then you add up those results and put it into the product, and you repeat until you're done. Okay. Sounds very cryptic. I know you've got these puzzled looks on your faces right now. I can see them. Okay, you didn't realize this video works both ways, where I can see through to you. Hey, put that finger down. So first, we're going to see if we can even do the problem. And if we can, then we will tell how big it is. So if they give me matrix A times matrix B, and I know matrix A is 3 by 4, okay, that's what this notation is telling you. And matrix B is 4 by 2, that's what this is telling us. Let's look at the inside dimensions. The 4 and the 4 are the numbers on the inside, and they match up. So we can multiply A times B because those match. And the final answer will be the size of the outside, 3 by 2. Okay, multiplying a 3 by 4 times a 4 by 2 gives you a 3 by 2. Let's look at the second one. 4 by 6 times a 6 by 3. The inside numbers match. They're both 6. So yes, we can do this. And the outside numbers, it's 4 by 3. Tells us the final product. Okay, one more. We have a 3 by 2 times a 3 by 2. These two inside numbers don't match up. So no, we cannot multiply the matrices. I know you're thinking, last section we said that if they were the same size, we could do the work. That's for addition or subtraction. Okay, that rule does not apply to matrix multiplication. There are cases where it will work out that way, that they're the same and so you can do it, but what you have to look at are the inside dimensions. So now that we know how we can tell whether we can do a problem or not, okay, now we're ready to find a product matrix. We're going to actually do matrix multiplication here. So they've given me two matrices, matrix U and matrix V. Okay. U is 2 rows by 3 columns, so it's 2 by 3. V is 3 rows by 2 columns, so it's 3 by 2. Okay. Notice the inside dimensions match. Okay. They're both 3. So we can do the work, and the outside dimensions being 2 by 2 tell us the final size. We're going to have something with 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay. Now the rule is you take the first row times the first column, and those values go in the first row, first column slot. And you go piece for piece. 5 times 2. Okay, the first one times its first one. The second one times the second one. And the third one times the third one. Okay. First times first, second times second, third times third. We're through with the first row and the first column. Now we're ready to do the first row and the second column. And the answers will go in the first row and the second column. First piece times first piece, 5 times -1. Second times second, 9 times -5. Third times third, 2 times 4. Okay. Now we're through with the first row and second column. We're ready to go to the next row. We're out of columns over here. Second row, first column. First place times first place. Second times second. Third times third. Okay. Now we're ready for the last piece. Second row times second column goes into the second row, second column. Okay. First thing times first thing. Okay. -3 times -1. -2 times -5, the second times the second. 1 times 4, the third times the third. Okay. Now we're down to just arithmetic. As you gain more experience, you won't need to write this out in full detail. As you gain more experience, you'll probably just write 10 plus 54 plus 2. And then when you get even more experience, you won't even write that down. You'll just keep it in your head. 10 plus 54 plus 2 is 66. Okay. -5 plus -45 plus 8 gives us this, -42. -3 times 2 is -6, plus -12 plus 1 gives us -17. +3 plus +10 plus 4 is 17. Okay, multiply the row times the column, piece by piece, and then add them together. Let's look at one more here. Okay, we have the first matrix has 3 rows and 4 columns, so it's 3 by 4. The second one has 4 rows and 2 columns, so it's 4 by 2. The inside numbers match, so we can do the problem. And then we're going to have on the outsides 3 by 2. That tells us the size of the final answer. 3 rows by 2 columns. Okay, we're going to go one thing at a time. First row times first column. 4 times 5, first place times first. Second times second, third times third, fourth times fourth. Okay, 4 times 5 is 20. 1 times 3 is 3. -1 times -1 is 1. 6 times 0 is 0. First row times second column. 4 times 1. 1 times 2. -1 times -4. And 6 times 6. And those are those products. Okay. Now we're out of columns for the first row, so we go to the second row. 1 times 5. 2 times 3, -1 times -1, 4 times 0. Second row, second column. 1 times 1, 2 times 2, -1 times -4, 4 times 6. Now the second row has run out of columns, so we go to the third row. Negative 1 times 5, negative 4 times 3, 6 times negative 1, 5 times 0. Okay. And then last, negative 1 times 1, negative 4 times 2, 6 times negative 4, 5 times 6. Now it's just addition. 20 plus 3 plus 1 plus 0 gives me 24. Add these up, 46. Add these, 12. Add those, 33, negative 23, and negative 3. Okay. Takes a little getting used to, but you just have to concentrate on the job at hand. Row times column, piece for piece, and then add those together to get each spot in the final matrix. If you had questions along the way, hopefully you wrote those down. Bring them in with you, and we'll see you in class.